JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, 3 women shot at bar on Red Hills Road, St. Andrew. 3 women remain hospitalized after being shot at a bar along Red Hills Road in St. Andrew. The incident occurred about 4:50 p.m. on Monday. The injured women are all of Red Hills addresses. Residents heard explosions and summoned the police. The injured women were rushed to hospital where they were admitted. Investigations are ongoing. Murder puts Sherlock residents on edge. The Hunts Bay police are keeping a close watch on the Sherlock Crescent area of St. Andrew following the murder of a 56-year-old man on Sunday. Dead is 56-year-old Douglas Thornton, otherwise called Rastaman, of a Sherlock Crescent, Kingston 20 address. Reports are that at about 7:20 p.m., Thornton was standing at his gate when a lone gunman approached and shot him several times before fleeing the scene in a waiting motor vehicle. Thornton was pronounced dead at hospital. A resident of the community said that Thornton's death has triggered a sense of unease in the area. Why if you start now? Because I see him so them kill him nearly 2 years ago. A long time him live around here. Me feel it to my heart. That man grew a lot of us, the resident said. Sources identified his nephew as a man known as Carla. Further checks revealed that Carla was a close associate of Sherodiani Holness, whose severed head was delivered to a family in Sherlock Crescent in October 2021. Holness was said to be a displaced Don in the area at the time he was killed. His body was never found. The police believe that he was killed in St. Catherine. We don't want it around here. It's back to school time. We don't need the darkness. A full time now them stop the foolishness, one resident said on Monday. The police believe the latest killing is gang-related. Meanwhile, the Hunts Bay police were called to another murder scene on Sunday night, this time on Nelson Road in the Kingston 13 area, where 22-year-old Taj Hines, otherwise called White Knight, was shot dead at about 8 p.m. Residents summoned the police after hearing explosions in the area. When the lawmen arrived, they found Hines suffering from gunshot wounds to his head. Up to August 26, the St. Andrew South Police Division had recorded a 12% decline in murders when compared to the corresponding period in 2022. There were 79 murders this year compared to 90 last year. The national murder toll stood at 899, an 11% decline year on year. Gun wrapped in plastic bag found under concrete blocks in St. Catherine. Police seized the gun containing 3 rounds of ammunition during an operation on Rosemary Avenue in Portmore, St. Catherine on Monday. Reports are that about 7:50 p.m., a targeted raid was conducted in the area and the premises was searched. During the search, a Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum loaded with 3 rounds of ammunition was found wrapped in a black plastic bag under a pile of concrete blocks. No one was arrested in connection with the seizure, police said. Motorcyclist dies in Clarendon crash. A 35-year-old man died along the 19-mile main road in Clarendon on Sunday after his motorcycle collided with a car. The deceased has been identified as Kidroy Fisher, a mechanic of Sandy Bay in the parish. According to the police report, about 7:30 p.m., Fisher overtook a line of traffic and collided with a Toyota Probox traveling in the opposite direction. The driver of the car lamented the death of Fisher, who he said was known to him. Pilot to begin soon for air conditioning units in 30 schools. A pilot to retrofit and install air conditioning units in 30 schools is to get underway soon to reduce heat stress on students amid rising temperatures. Minister of Education and Youth, Favour Williams, made the disclosure during a visit to the Hope Valley Experimental School in Kingston on September 4 for the opening of the 2023-24 school year. I am delighted that we're almost about to begin piloting 30 schools so that we can understand how to do it, how to roll it out, and how to scale it up. Global warming is a phenomenon that we all have to deal with. Temperatures are rising around the world, and Jamaica is no exception, she said. Williams said greater use of solar energy in schools is being considered as part of the project. The Education Minister noted that the project will seek to have early childhood, primary, and the secondary schools retrofitted with air conditioning units and will, therefore, take some time. I am not making a promise to say that it's going to be done by the end of the school year. It's going to take a long time. We have 1,010 primary and high schools. We have maybe another 1,000 early childhood institutions. So you can see the magnitude of retrofitting our schools, she said. Williams argued that the corrective measure will seek to improve the learning environment for students and staff. Unfortunately, over the decades, the way schools have been built, the ventilation is not as it should be, and we have not been used to the idea of classrooms being air-conditioned. But we're at that moment where not only fans are to be in classrooms, but also air conditioning, she said. Of course, this is going to take additional funding to do, and it is not something that is going to happen overnight. But that is where our vision is, to retrofit classrooms so that they'll be able to take air conditioning, so that when students and teachers are in the environment, it is comfortable, she added. Decomposing body found in Linstead, St. Catherine. The decomposing body of a man was discovered on Logan Street in Linstead, St. Catherine, on Tuesday morning. The body, which up to this afternoon was still unidentified, appeared to be in its late 30s, medium build, and sported a cornrow hairstyle, the police said. It was reported that around 9 a.m., residents smelled a foul odor in the area, made checks, and saw what appeared to be a body and alerted the police. On arrival, police saw the body wrapped in a blue tarpaulin and cardboard. With its legs bound with a belt. The body was clad in dark-colored clothing and was partially decomposed, with what appeared to be chop wounds to the left side of the head and neck. The scene was processed, and the body removed to the Linstead Public Hospital, where death was confirmed. It was later transported to the morgue, pending a post-mortem examination. The Linstead police are investigating. Cops detained Rong Sean for 8 years on murder charge. The failure of police officers to hold an identification parade in a murder case in 2009 for construction worker Sean Robinson, who was then 23 years old, severely impacted his life, as he was forced to spend 6 years behind bars before he was granted bail. Robinson was then freed almost 2 years later for a crime he did not commit. Robinson's case dragged on in court from May 2009 until January 2017, when the sole eyewitness said in court that he was not the perpetrator involved in the crime. The Crown then offered no evidence against him. A major tragedy is our attorney at law Adrian Christie, who is representing Robinson in a civil case against the government, described the profound injustice meted out to his client. Robinson filed a lawsuit in the Supreme Court in September 2019 against the government, seeking damages for malicious prosecution and constitutional violations due to the inhumane conditions under which he was detained. The sole eyewitness, in a statement to the police, gave the name of the offender to be Selvin Robinson, also called Sean, and said he had known him for 20 years. He said Sean was about 5 feet 3 inches tall and was of a brown complexion. However, Robinson's unchallenged affidavit states that he has no alias and his only name is Sean Robinson. He is of a dark complexion and is 5 feet 9 inches tall. He contends that he made several pleas for an identification parade to be conducted from the time of his arrest, but those pleas were denied. The defendants have accepted that no identification parade was held. Christie, who is instructed by the law firm Asher and Asher, said that Robinson suffered immeasurably during his incarceration and subsequent legal battle. He said stress, embarrassment, and the loss of his family life took a toll on Robinson. Christie said further that Robinson's daughter was born while he was behind bars, depriving him of the early bonding moments that every parent cherishes. Defendants in the suit are the Attorney General, Detective Sergeant Alvin Farron, and an individual identified only as Detective Sergeant Roy. Robinson has been awaiting the signing of the default judgment for the last 5 months so that a date can be set for assessment of damages in the Supreme Court. Christie said Robinson laments the significant delays in both the criminal and civil aspects of the case, which have compounded his suffering. This harrowing case demonstrates the importance of pre-trial bail for accused individuals once they are likely to attend for trial, Christie added. JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.